So Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate are charged with forming an organized criminal group in 2021 and engaging in human transportation across Romania, Britain, and the United States, as well as the R word, right? Grape charges. It's funny to me that there's a whole bunch of indictments going on at the moment, right? Andrew Tate indictment for what I just stated right now. Now Donald Trump getting indicted for documents that was happening. And we got Hunter Biden, who was also charged with some instances of tax evasion as well as owning a gun under the influence of being a crackhead. And he's not serving any prison time. He pleaded guilty. Slap on the wrist for the son of the president of the United States, Joe Biden. And they're not even going to go into the instances of him taking money from the Ukraine government. That's a whole other subject. But Andrew Tate's going to explain to you, if you're part of the club, you have a pass.
So I just wanted to have an informal conversation. I was going to put a suit on and do this formally, but I think it's better if I do this informally. Highlighting some of the things that everybody already knows about how the Matrix operates and what they're trying to do to me and what I believe is going to happen next. It's quite interesting that they are attacking me and attempting to vilify me at the exact same time, whereas real predators, which work for the media establishment, are being ousted. So it's really interesting to do a juxtaposition and do a comparison, right, between how they will treat Phillip Scofield, who is confirmed.
Now, this guy, Phillip Scofield, if you guys don't know, Andrew Tate brought him up multiple times, even in the PBD podcast as well. But this man right here was a host of a talk show where he interviewed multiple people, including people that went after pedos. And this guy actually had a love affair with an underage staff member on his show that was 15 years old, male. And he claims that they had intimacy when he turned 20 years old. So he groomed him from 15 until I guess he was legal. But of course, if you're going to believe that he didn't touch this guy until he was 20, instead of like 18 when it's the legal age, you're fooling yourself.
As a groomer who is admitting he has committed sexual crimes, and how they'll treat me, a man with no convictions and no admission of sexual crimes. Look at the differences in the headlines. Look at how soft they are in their interviews with him.
You've had quite the week. How are you?
Look at how now, after only 2 or 3 days, the headlines are saying we should forgive him and feel sorry for him and let him off. Whereas me, who's been under constant media assault for over a year, they never let up. They never change. Someone sent me a clip yesterday of Phillip Scofield saying he's going to kill himself and how sad he is.
Last week, if my daughters hadn't been there, then I wouldn't be here.
Why do they keep...
And here's one thing that I've noticed about these minor attractive people is that they always go on an apology tour, right? All you got to do is do an apology tour. Hunter Biden wrote a whole book that sympathized for him, as well as the news gave him interviews saying like, oh my God, you were such in a hard place when your brother, your deceased brother was gone, and you were so sad that you had to pork down his widowed wife, right? So, and then you had a drug addiction. Oh, you were snorting Parmesan cheese off the carpet for your addiction. So again, if you sold your soul to what Andrew likes to call the Matrix, which I like to just call being a Satanist, you get a free pass. And this is exactly what Andrew's talking about. The Matrix, what he calls the Matrix, which is just a easier to understand way of the deep state, the globalists, and the people that are in positions of power, is that if you sign your soul to the devil, then you're good. You just got to go on an apology tour. You get a slap on the wrist. Maybe you get punished so that way it doesn't look like we're biased. And then we move on from there, and you're able to monetize your sins.
I've been offered to sell my soul very many times. I want everyone at home to understand, you do not become the most Googled man on earth, especially amongst a demographic of young men which have money to spend, without very large companies and corporations becoming extremely interested in you. I've been offered $50 to $60 million by companies I'm not going to name.
Damn it.
All I had to do was shut up. Shut up, take the money, wear the stupid hat, wave around the stupid drink, whatever it is, and continue to agree with whatever the Matrix says, regardless of my own personal feelings, my personal views and beliefs, and just push it on the minds of young children. And I refuse to do that. I refuse.
Now, mind you, what he says, push it on the minds of young children. There's already been cases of elementary schools banning his content. They're literally reforming the minds of children that see Andrew Tate on TikTok and saying this is toxic masculinity. And a big reason why the people up in charge are attacking Andrew so much is because of his influence on the youth. They're the ones that are the only ones that need to have influence on the youth, right? They want to, trans the children, LGB, whatever, Pride Month. They want to do these things to our kids to manipulate them, turn the boys into little girls and the little girls into little boys. That's what they're after. So when Andrew comes around and says, no, you're a man, you act like a man, you work hard, and there's tough love within your family and people around you. Like, not everybody's going to be there to sympathize for you, and that's just what the real world is. That's what pisses them off, is the fact that he has a huge influence on the youth.
If I would have sold my soul to a large corporation, and then this attack happened, which I very much doubt this level of Matrix attack would have even happened to me. But if it did, then this large corporation would speak to the media, and the media would be treating me like they treat Phillip Scofield. They wouldn't be treating me as an enemy. They would treat me as an ally. All I had to do was sell my soul, and I refused. The recent BBC interview that took place, I don't think most people understand genuinely how snaky that interview was. The reason I had to destroy her so ruthlessly is because of how the interview was set up. When I was in jail, the BBC was constantly trying to get me to give an interview over the phone, and I refused. When I left jail, the BBC begged me for an interview, daily, begging me. And for 3 months, I refused. Eventually, once I understood, after my 3rd month of house arrest, what the Romanian government is going to do to me, which we're going to discuss shortly, I thought now would be a good time to give an interview.
And here's the thing, I got to criticize Andrew a little bit, because the thing is, you have to realize, if you're pending charges, your lawyers need to be screaming at you like, Andrew, don't say anything, keep your mouth shut. It's the same thing that Donald Trump is kind of doing too. Like, Donald Trump and Tate are like very similar to each other, man. Like, I'm not going to lie, especially with the whole indictments that are going on now. Trump's going on doing interviews during this whole like charging situation that the prosecutors could use his words against him. This is the same thing that Tate's doing. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't know what the hell he's thinking, where he's going on the interview knowing that they're going to try to sabotage him, knowing that they're going to ask questions to him that can legitly throw him in jail for the rest of his life, because the prosecution, you have to realize, these guys are like used car salesmen. They will use any of your words to lock you up and throw away the key. Damn, Andrew. It just feels like this is a stupid, you're like shooting yourself in the foot, man. I got to criticize it.
BBC begged me, saying that Romania has one of the most corrupt justice systems in Europe, that there's serious problems with the case. Lots of evidence that's been leaked shows Andrew's innocent, that Andrew's side of the story hasn't been heard, that we're interested in fair and unbiased journalism, that we don't want to come there and do a hit piece. We want to speak to him and try and find out the truth of what's happening.
And Andrew knew that was all bullshit, man. Like, what the Matrix attacks, right? You gotta take into consider, like, Alex Jones here. What's your opinion, Alex Jones?
That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first.
There you go.
In fact, we're going to send you the questions we want to ask in advance. I'm not a coward. I never ask for questions in advance. I don't care, because I'm a professional and I will destroy anyone instantly. But they sent us a list of questions, which was shown to me, and I was like, well, those are actually interesting questions. What's my mental health like? What's Romanian jail like? What's it like being in a courtroom where everyone's speaking a language you don't understand and having your liberty deprived of you? I thought this is going to be an interesting interview. I agree. The BBC, all nice smiles and all lies, sent us this entire spiel, turned up, turned the cameras on, sat down, and attacked me.
Have you ever put any and applied any psychological control on any of the women you dated? Or
No, and I respect women. This idea that that I'm so much smarter that I can hypnotize somebody, I think is extremely misogynistic idea. I think your idea is misogynistic to believe that women don't have their own free thoughts and free minds.
They attempted to sucker punch me. They attempted to shake my hand and knock me out with a sucker punch once the cameras were on, to hit me when I was off guard. They expected me to be off guard, ready to talk about my mental health, and hit me with these questions and me make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
Unaware that I'm a master of Aikido. And when you attempt to sucker punch me, it simply misses, and I destroy you.
I think we're done.
Yep.
Unmatched
Rage quit.
perspicacity. Just because I'm the best there's ever been, and me, with my quick thinking and nearly incomparable wit, can sit and destroy a professional reporter and her entire research team's preparation, just because I make that look easy, doesn't mean I should be forced to succumb to these unfortunate circumstances. 99% of the population, if they were tricked the way I was tricked, would look a fool on camera. They were very prepared to try and make a fool of me. But I'm the best there's ever been. Did they do this to Phillip Scofield? No. Where was the BBC's outrage when Rolf Harris or Jimmy Savile were touching children? They don't care. Where's the BBC's outrage when certain other people, high level in society, members of the royal family, are caught having pictures with minors? They don't care. But they will.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to bring up the whole Epstein's Island stuff, but let's be honest here. I think it was Prince Andrew was on the guest list, like the flight logs, going over there several times along with Bill Clinton and several other Democrats, including Hillary, including Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. So it's crazy to me that the mainstream media, not only just the BBC, I live in America, the MSNBC, CNN, they're all the same. In fact, I would argue that they're probably worse than the BBC. So it's always a cover up, man. They just never want to dig deep into other situations, but they're so focused on Andrew Tate as if he's like the biggest threat in the entire world that needs to be stopped. Now, again, I don't agree with every single thing Andrew says, but I think he's a net positive. And I think he's a big reason why they want to put him away and throw away the key is because of his influence on the youth, young men, as well as up-and-coming teenagers that want to get better, want to learn how to make money, stay in shape, etc., man. Like, I think nowadays with the whole LGBT pride and all that other stuff, it's weakening men, and they have a thirst to get better and actually be men. So I think that's why they're seriously striving very hard, which I don't even think Andrew's going to get a fair trial.
Continue to try and convince you that I am something I am not on repeat over and over and over again. These people are worse than disingenuous. They are worse than simply liars. They are evil. They are a club. And if you sell your soul and join the club, they offer you protection. And if you don't, they aim to destroy you, which is what they're trying to do to me.
Be part of the club, man.
The reason I decided to give the interview to the BBC is because I now believe that the next step, and I'm going to call it, because I've called everything that's happened to me so far. Look at my old interviews. I said, stage 2, they're going to try and put me in jail. I understand that you get 3 strikes in this game. Strike 1 is they try and shut you up and discredit you, which I've just been through. Strike 2 is they try and put you in jail for no reason. And strike 3 is they kill you. Every single organization on the face of the planet is corrupt. This is what I say to people. I say, listen, and I'm going to say this on this podcast now because I say it on every other one. I would never, ever kill myself. I truly believe they're going to come and they're going to try and kill me on a long enough time frame because they tried to shut me up and I won't shut up. They're either going to try and put me in jail or they're going to kill me. And I would never kill myself under any circumstances ever. And the reason I say this, and I say this to people, and they go, but what can they put you in jail for? And I'm like, how ignorant are you in your ignorance to believe they need a reason? You believe it's fair. You believe I can get a lawyer and prove myself innocent. That's not how it works. They decide you're guilty long before and they find a reason why. And it doesn't matter what you do about it, you will pay the fucking price. It's not fair. None of it is. Every single system's corrupt. It actually annoys me when people say it to me. Well, just get a lawyer. Why? They can't put you in jail if you're innocent.
Yes, they fucking can. And that's what people don't understand about the world. They can and they do and they fucking will. And that's what's scary.
For over a year, across every single outlet that they control has failed. Nobody believes them. Nobody. So now what do they do? Well, I believe the UK is going to try and raise charges against me. Don't know what for. I've done nothing wrong. Something's going to appear from nowhere. In fact, I will say that I have some very high-level friends and some whistleblowers who are confirming exactly that to me. They've looked at me and thought, we have to get this guy. What's he done? Nothing. Find something. Who cares? Get some papers, move some papers around, get a judge who'll stamp them, and put him in jail.
This is what they do when they're trying to convict a lot of these people, man. They will overcharge you. Even if it's something that you didn't do, they charge you for a whole bunch of things and then look and dig deep until some kind of mud sticks. That's all they need to do. They overcharge you. They say that you did this, you did X, Y, Z, and Z, etc. And then they throw a bunch of mud and see what sticks. That's their whole strategy when it comes to convicting people. And that's what it is. Like, they're not going to undercharge you. If they don't think, okay, maybe he didn't do this, let's not go after him for that. They're going to go after and throw the book if they want to. And I think Andrew's only way out is basically to bribe the Romanian government, if I had to guess, and pay them off. Now, at the end of the day, they are corrupt and they'll take the money if that's a better deal, perhaps. But I think Andrew's too much of a threat for them to take that deal, because I've even stated in the past, I think the United States and the UK have some kind of foot in the puddle, man. They have some kind of game here. You literally had Joe Biden, trade the Merchant of Death for a lesbian black basketball player, WNBA player, bro. Who actually did break the law over there in Russia. So it's funny that he'll trade in a very dangerous man for that, but not even consider anything of Andrew Tate and his brother, So, hey, that's what you're working with, man. Like, Andrew's fighting with one hand tied behind his back, and with all these interviews that he's doing, honestly, you're tying the other one behind your back now too. Like lawyers say, don't say anything. You're putting them in a much harder situation for them to back you up.
It doesn't matter that I've done nothing wrong. I also want to say that I believe the Romanian government is going to charge me. They're not going to charge me because they have any evidence. And they're not going to charge me because I'm guilty of anything. They're going to charge me because after a 14-month investigation, 6 months of arrest, which is the maximum they can possibly give me without charge, I don't think they can just drop this. Imagine they just drop this tomorrow. Oh, we made it all up. Imagine that. What choice do they have but to charge me? If they charge me, I have to go to trial. Now, of course, I still believe in Romanian justice. I really, truly believe that even with Romanian justice systems or matrix-controlled justice systems, I'll be found innocent. Because I know the case file, I know what's in it. But that's going to take years. They're going to waste 1.5 to 2 years of my life, make me go to trial. Then when I'm found not guilty, it's been years. Who cares, right? Distance from event. If they drop it now, it's the biggest story in the world. They can't drop it. They're going to charge me. They're not going to charge me because I've done anything wrong. They're going to charge me because that's how the matrix works. Unfortunately, I'm up against an enemy which I can't really, truly beat. I can't beat them. All I can do is continue to discredit them to the point where nobody believes them anymore. And I cannot do that without having perspicacious, intelligent people at home who are analyzing the situation and truly understand what is happening to me. If I have to martyr myself, if I have to some degree sacrifice my liberty and the quality of my life to highlight how the matrix operates, how the legal system and the media work hand in hand to try and convince the populace somebody is guilty before a judge says they are guilty because they have pre-decided to say this person is guilty because of his wrong-think. If I have to sacrifice myself to do those things, then I guess at least my imprisonment is a noble one. And I'm a man. And although Romanian jail is as close to hell as you can find on planet Earth, if I have to suffer it, I will do that because I will not sell my soul. The point of this video is only to highlight and make clear the differences in how the people inside of the club are treated against versus the people who are outside of the club. And also for me to predict the future for everyone to understand. When new charges come, when new countries attempt to attack me, when the Matrix unrelentingly continues to print lies about me and try to convince the world that I am a bad person, I hope it does nothing else but show the world that I am a good person. These people are liars. The people they tell you are good are not good. The people they tell you are bad are the good ones. Do not believe a word that they say. All in all, my predictions for the future are not certain. My future is certainly not certain. Whether I'll continue to breathe or continue to be free, nobody knows. But the one thing I can guarantee to absolutely everybody at home, and anybody who believes in me and my message, and anybody who listens to me speak, I will never sell my soul, I will never be controlled, and I will never lie.
Okay, so there you have it. Andrew Tate responding after the all these charges that were thrown his way. And mind you, again, Andrew Tate stated right there, he doesn't know if he could beat them. And honestly, like I was saying before, bro, you can't, you know? You're working with the scum of the earth, like the scummy of the scum. That you don't have to do anything wrong for them to throw you in jail for absolutely no reason. And the Romanian government has proven that they are corrupted. It doesn't matter if you did a crime or not, you know? And I know a lot of people are saying, well, Andrew, you know, he's a rapist, a human transportationer, and all these other crazy things that they're shooting after. When none of the evidence adds up at all. A lot of crap in this case is totally fishy. Completely and utterly fishy. Like, you're telling me they got girls to do TikTok and take their money and do OnlyFans and get rich that way through OnlyFans when they were already multimillionaires? Like, it makes no sense. You know, oh, he told these ladies that he was going to marry them. Instead, he just fucks them. If that was the case, every guy that I know, including myself, would be thrown in jail for lying to women. Like this, it's absolutely ridiculous on the charges. But again, they don't care. It's all about emotion. Okay? This is what the feminist movement has done to the mind. They say a female way of thinking is the correct way of thinking. And a male way of thinking, well, that's just toxic masculinity. That's all I have for you guys today. But comment down below, like the video, and tell me your thoughts. Do you actually think Andrew Tate's guilty? Do you think he will be charged? Tell me all that and let's discuss it. I'm Jake Varr. This has been Project Veal Pod. Peace.